Bam. All right. Welcome to the Rocket Launcher Podcast, episode 163. Um, I am your host, Supreme King, and join with me as always is my co-host. His name is Alpha Five. My bad, my bad. What is his name? Oh, my bad.
It's your guy Omasis. You're gonna have to excuse me today. Headphones is or laptop's messed up, so I have to use a different setup.
All right. Well, um, it won't be too long anyway. First episode. I think this is first episode of the year. Happy New Year, to the people out there. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy holiday season. I hope everybody had a really good holiday season. Because when I say January is starting to hit hard in so many different ways, um, it's coming like a rush. But I'm enjoying the new year. I'm very excited for video gaming this year and then new beginnings this year. But it looks to me like the industry, and I have to use that term a little lightly, is starting things off with a lot of fear mongering that I find amusing. But it's gonna go into my first topic. Before I get to the first topic, Alpha Five, how you doing today? How's everything going?
Well, other than having to get my laptop fixed, I'm good.
What did you do? What did you do to it again? What did you say? You said you broke it. What did you say?
Nah, the charging port broke. Well, technically, yeah, I
You
broke it.
you
So
snatched it out the wall or something?
nah, so you know the like low part that plugs into the laptop.
Yeah.
So I was charging my laptop, and then I stood up to go do something. Then my cat ran across my foot, and I tripped and pulled the laptop. So the little charging part broke.
All right, we're gonna have to get rid of that cat. I think it's about time we get rid of the cat. New year,
Nah, never.
no animals this year, I guess.
Mm.
Anyways, um, the first topic I actually wanted to get into, I don't know how long we need to spend on this, but first I want to say, game on the screen obviously is the game of the year. Clair Obscura Expedition 33. I believe this was footage from way back when. This is like in the beginning of the game, but just running around. Anyways, the topic I actually wanted to get into is basically I wrote it down initially as New Year, new prices, or new price increasing. But basically, gaming and PC prices are quote unquote set to increase. Is right now it seems like a lot of fear mongering, but um, there was some mentions that AMD or the graphics cards, the 5000 series graphics cards right now are like hovering. The high end models in around the $2,000 mark, but
Hmm.
that could jump to 5,000 apparently. And then gaming consoles and some other hardwares, maybe like controllers and stuff, are set to see some more increases as well. That's what everybody's saying, and there's a lot of fear mongering about it. Obviously, we've already heard about the RAM prices at one point. It's like, okay, it's RAM prices. But now it's going into the GPU prices. I felt like the GPU prices was already kind of like that anyway, especially around the 2020 time frame. Um, at the time, it was like, oh, it's all this crypto farming and everything, and now it's like,
Hmm.
um, it's a whole AI boom and stuff, and we need RAM just for the AI. But then they're saying, now this could also affect the consoles and the upcoming Steam machine that's probably starting to lose some hype based on this situation. Um, I'm not too upset about it. I'm not too worried. A part of me feels like, from my perspective, um, I am in control of what I buy. I've always felt like I was in control of what I buy. I don't feel like I need to conform to anything. It just seems silly to me that they'll do the fear mongering content. I've seen a lot of people do that. And I was listening to some of it today, and I was just like, some of the stuff people were saying, I'm like, that doesn't mean that you have to go out there and just spend, a whole crazy amount for something. So I want to empower the people and say just basically you are in control of your own wallet. If you don't feel comfortable buying something, it's okay. Um, this year especially, I've made the decision to play a lot of stuff I've already have. And then a lot of stuff from the past as well. So I'm not too much worried about what's coming out and everything. I honestly still believe we got more hardware than we do software. But that's a whole nother topic in itself. But uh, anything you want to say on this? Gaming
Uh,
prices, five thousand
if you
dollar
don't,
graphic cards. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, if you don't go out and buy it, the prices will go back down, right? They're gonna raise stuff up and then try and threaten you, and then you just don't buy it, and then they'll be like, "Our bad," and put it back.
Yeah. Funny thing about it is, I think the prices for GPUs are already. I would imagine, from my point of view, is that 2,000 should be its peak. I don't think it should. It probably shouldn't even be half that. But like, when you think about a graphics card, it's like, okay, what are you really getting at the end of the day? How much better could it really be? A game like this, like on my PC, this game looked fantastic. It was great from start to finish, but it was just like, do I really need to rip out my graphics card and switch it out for another one that costs like half the price of the pre-built as it is? It's like, how much better could this game possibly look? And this is a 1080p render. It was like at a higher resolution and frame rate beforehand, but still, it's like, how much better could it really need to look, to get the experience? I think we're really overdoing it in that department. The marketing for that has really gotten out of control because it's telling people basically what you have isn't good enough. A example of that really was like the PS5 Pro. I remember the whole marketing behind that was, oh, the PS5 is just all of a sudden not good enough.
Mm.
And they were saying like Spider-Man 2 is just not even running right and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what? It was like, it was built for the PS5 when it first came out. And then all of a sudden it's just not good enough. And I'm just like, well, wait a minute here. We're only like 4 or 5 years into that console cycle at the time. Um, so I think it's silly, but a lot of people are saying, hey, it's just going to keep going up, whatever. Um, Funny enough, though, I kind of anticipated it a little bit. And I remember my Black Friday purchases. My thought process at the time was, don't even think about it. If you want it, just go get it. Don't even worry. Like, I was not worried about pricing at all, but a part of me in the back of my head did realize, like, well, some of this stuff probably is going to increase later. If I really want to try something, then I might as well do it now, because next year I want to commit to not buying a bunch of stuff. And then I splurged like crazy, and it wasn't just gaming; it was a whole bunch of other stuff. Um, but New Year, new prices. I think funny thing about the gaming industry too. There's two extremes there. There's like something is like really cheap, and then the other things are like really expensive. For some reason, we don't really have that right in the middle anymore. It's like there's nothing that's just like right there yet. It's like this is either too expensive or is really cheap, and I'm about to snag it. But there's not a happy medium anywhere anymore. I don't know if it'll be this year or maybe the year after, but gaming's gonna have to crash overall. In order for things to really get back in order. But at the same time, we are still seeing games like the one on the screen where it can be an independent title and it can come out and not really cost that much and be a great title. I remember when they launched Clair Obscur, first of all, it was day one on Game Pass, and that was how I played it. But under Steam, they had it on sale immediately for like as low as $33.
Mm.
And then the physical version is $50 even now. Which some versions come with like a deluxe version with different artwork and stuff. And so it's already lower than like your status quo, which is like the $70 title or a possible $80 title. And it's the game of the year. It was great, highly popular, right? And then some of the other games that were runner ups were also independent games that were as low as $20 when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is Hollow Knight Silksong, and it doesn't seem like the developers of that particular game was hurting for money. They set that price. They could have easily set it at 30, like some of its competitors.
Mm-hmm.
But they set it at 20, and it still sold like crazy. It just sold. And I bought a copy myself and didn't even finish the first game, and I'm still working on the first game. So yeah, it's two extremes. Really, you have to look at some of the. If you're in the PC market, you got to look at what you would have and say like, is this really like that bad, or is this good enough? The Steam machine, on paper, there are certain things where it seems like it might be like underpowered. I guess in the RAM department, it seems like it's underpowered. But to somebody else coming into it, the person that is probably mostly built for might look at that thing and say it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it might still be a $700, $800 machine. Honestly, though, like the poor gamer, the person who was penny pinching, they was already pressed out. Like they like what we talk about 2026, they were priced out in 2025 and 2024. We had already did the gaming console price increases already. I've never seen. I think this might be the only generation where 4 years later or something, everything jumped like $100 or $200. Like they had already priced out everybody. They priced out the VR market. PlayStation did, at least for its own audience. It was like they killed their own VR machine that fast, just from the very beginning, to the point where even when they dropped the price on it, don't nobody even want to get it. Even me, I don't even want to get it. So, if you are worried about it, you probably was already priced out last year. So I would just say, just enjoy what you have. I'm enjoying what I have. I'm really excited about the games that I am playing. But I don't think we need to beat this any further. We can move on, because that was just a thing. You probably see this in a lot of videos right now, like, oh, the prices are going up, and I'm just like, well, 5-finger discount. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? You go back there, you bust the glass real quick and just run. You can do that. That's still an option.
Might have
hear
to.
that. You didn't hear that here, though. You didn't hear that here. January games that you are playing. I'm actually going out of order. But
As in, what am I playing this month, or does it have to come out in January?
No, games that you are playing this month in January.
All right. Well, I'm out 2/3 of the way through Outer Worlds 2. So finishing that, and then I'll be playing Clair Obscur, the game on the screen, next.
Okay. It's just those two this month?
For the most part, yeah. So I've been running back a little bit through Outriders, trying to get this one like last trophy that I need, just to platinum, because I'm so close, but like it's starting to get annoying, so I might not stick to it. We'll see. And then I've been playing Hades 1 here and there.
Okay. For me, the January games. So I started one. The second one I'm probably going to start this upcoming Thursday. And the third one is 3 games this month. The third one is one that I've had from, I want to say 2 years ago, that I've like a third of the way done. I just coming back to it. So the first one that I'm starting that's brand new is Lies of P.
Okay.
And I kind of I'm gonna tell you the other two first, then I'm gonna come back to that. But Lies of P, and then the game that I'm gonna start Thursday, that's my secondary game, will be the Wolverine game, the X-Men Origin Uncaged edition, where you play as Wolverine. This is coming from the PS3, um, or on the PS3, but it's in that generation, PS3, Xbox 360. So that was the best version of that game. Obviously, we got the latest Wolverine game that's going to come out in the fall of this year. But I have a nice little preview of it now, or the appetizer to the main course of that game. I'm gonna play that. Um,
It's a great appetizer.
yeah, so I'm gonna start that one this upcoming Thursday. That's a off day for me. Um, and then the third game, which is actually like a play 1 hour a day type game, that I'm gonna play during my normal schedule, which is play A Plague's Tale: Innocence,
Okay.
which will probably lead into A Plague's Tale: Requiem once I'm done. But A Plague's Tale: Innocence, um, I have started it. It's not a long game. I think it's chapter based, and you can easily clear a chapter in like an hour to maybe an hour and a half. And I'm like 6 or 7 chapters in, and I think it's like only 14 chapters altogether. But I stopped like over a year ago. It was just one of those things where you just kind of stop, and I just stopped on that one. So I want to come back and finish it and do that, and then on off days, I play the Wolverine. And then if I have like bigger time frames, I'll play Liza P during the week, and then on off days basically. Um, but yeah, I do want to mention though, cause I started that Liza P, um, and I want to give it its flowers, even though it's very early. It's very, very early, but you and me have played some of these Souls games now, like a couple, and I've watched so many different Souls games that are like, well, not Souls games, but Souls like.
Mhm.
I can tell people there a difference between Souls and Souls like games for sure, because the ones that are Souls like, they're more edgy. They're like really try hards. And then the
Mm.
Souls games are what's made by From Software, where they actually do it correctly. Um, Liza P definitely, from what I've played so far, is one that fits more of a Souls type game versus a Souls like. It's not attempting to be the hardest thing ever. They understand their balancing. They've really tried to mimic Bloodborne. Almost felt guilty playing it for a second because I know I didn't finish Bloodborne yet. Um, but it was a PS Plus title, that version of it that I'm playing, and I wanted to make sure I get through some of these PS Plus titles before I just start buying PS Plus every year and not actually playing the games. And that was one of the main games I wanted to play. But I wanted to own the copy, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna play the PS Plus version, and I'll go back and I'll buy the copy later, and I'll play the DLC if I really like it. And I'm enjoying it so far. I'm still relatively in the beginning, but I made it through the first little section, beat the first boss. The first boss was decent, and the section itself was decent, but I know, like, you and me playing Remnant 2,
Mhm.
and then we played Lords of the Fallen last year. And one thing that I do know from it is there's a big thing about rushing you with a lot of enemies and stuff at once.
Mm.
Um, and the balancing sometimes is just off with those games.
Yep.
But like with Liza P, they don't have that issue. Like the balancing was correct. And it reminded me of Bloodborne so much because I know they were trying to mimic it, but they knew how to place enemies. Like there's a couple moments in there where you're kind of going through and it's like you're supposed to get ambushed. Um, and I was being ambushed, but it was like in a like understandable way where towards the end of when we were playing Remnant, I think last week,
Oh yeah,
like
where I got really mad.
it was to the point where it didn't look like you was going to be able to win at all. And I was kind of
Hmm.
watching like that mimic character was on your butt.
Yeah, so let me talk about that really quick. So I got irrationally angry. I know I did, and I will say that why I got so angry. The type of difficulty scaling that I hate is what you just mentioned when they just tries to overload you with enemies instead of it being like an actual strategy. Even if it's like an overload of attacks and you just gotta wait and dodge correctly, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I just gotta get better. It's when it's just like to make it difficult, we're just gonna rush you with everything, and it's like that's boring. Do better. Like I hate that. So we have this enemy in here where what it does is it makes a copy of you that will just run up and like melee attack you, and it will not let up while also sending other enemies at you while also shooting at you and healing itself. So, and I was running out of ammo and I couldn't use my ammo box to get my ammo back because the mimic wouldn't let up like for a second. And then the moment I got rid of it, he immediately summoned another one that was running up on me. So, like, there was nothing. And it got to the point where even when I was trying to dodge, out of the way of attacks, I ran out of stamina because I had to dodge so much, and that's when I just started getting hit. So it didn't feel like there was a way to win because we're just gonna constantly throw things at you, and that is very annoying to me. So I did get real angry last week. I'm gonna do better this week, probably.
It was somewhat entertaining. I admit it was a little entertaining. But
I'll maybe be better this week.
What was funny about it though is that the mimic was throwing hands. That was what made it so funny for me, because it's supposed to mimic you, but we in Remnant you play with guns and everything.
This thing didn't even have a weapon. It was just throwing fists.
It was rolling right up on everybody, and it was just beatboxing like bow wow, wow. Like I'm like, yo, what is happening? Because it was just rolling up on you. But yeah, so. Yes, it's still very early on, but I can see why Lies of P got its its praise initially. Now I know later on people kind of semi-turned on it because they added the update where you can choose the difficulty, which wasn't a part of the original game. Now I will admit for myself, I put it on the hardest difficulty, which was called Legendary. But for anybody who wanted to turn on the game, I will let you know. It's set to be at that by default, and you have to actually like turn it back down. But
see, I don't understand people getting mad. I can see if they made the game just easier and you didn't ask for that. But if they make an option for easier without affecting the base game, right? So it's not like Legendary got easier or harder because the other one was introduced. It was just, here's another mode for other people. I feel like all you got to do is just not play that mode. There's actually games where if you play it on easy, it makes fun of you. Like I've seen that before, where they'll like title it with like normal and then like call the other one baby or like pacifier. Like they'll mock you for doing the easy one. And I feel like just play it the way you want. Like I don't understand the issue with extra options. I could see if they took stuff away or changed like immediate gameplay, then yeah, be upset. But like if they add extra stuff, it's like okay, then you got your real players, and then people who play it for the story.
Yeah, but even at like the hardest difficulty in there, it wasn't really like your henchmen, like or just regular NPC that you would run into really wasn't that hard at all. Yeah, they still got like your big guys that be out there every now and then. And then you have your boss battle, but I think the people should be encouraged to just start off on what's considered legendary difficulty from the beginning, because it's still all about pacing and paying attention. When I was fighting the boss, one thing I had to really remember to pay attention to was my own stamina, because obviously in a Souls game you can't button mash your way through it. And a lot of people are used to button mashing their way through practically everything. So that's just something to keep in mind. But even with that, like I wish I could have showed the footage, but I got a rule that I have in place where I don't want to start showing footage until the game is beat. But that boss fight I did record like 30 minutes of me fighting the boss and winning. Honestly, it was very well paced. it was one thing I like about Souls games that do it right. When you fight a boss, it's one on one. That's
Mm.
like one of the main things I need is a one. Like he
So
could be crazy, but I just want to fight him one on one. But yeah, go ahead. What you gonna
so
say?
in Remnant, the only way I don't mind when like occasional minions run out is when it's clearly that they're there just so you can pick up ammo. Like
Uh,
that's what it's for. Like one of the bosses we fought, the um it was that one in that narrow hallway where she's like swinging the blade at you, and
yeah,
then occasionally the little like pig things run out. Those were clearly just there so you could pick up some ammo to keep fighting her. I don't
yeah.
mind that as much because it's just a small pause, and then you got to watch for her to come back down and hit you. But that was more of just strategy, like figure it out. Versus like this last one where it's the one I'm already complaining about, where he's just. It's one thing if it's him and the shadow clone of you, and then he's also sending out other things to fight, and that is where it starts to get like extra annoying. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like if the game is supposed to be difficulty based, one on one, and make it like more strategy based as opposed to just overwhelming.
Um,
That's just me.
we could move on in just a second. I gotta mention a hilarious moment that I had on Christmas Day. With a game that I had no idea was going to turn Souls like overnight. It's a game
Mm.
called Ravenlock.
Oh yeah, I remember that
Ravenlock
game.
was initially it came out on Game Pass, I think the day before or same day as the game. What was that game that it was a vampire shooter from Bethesda that flopped and everybody was like
Oh,
destroying
Redfall.
next. Yeah, Redfall. Redfall came out. It completely overshadowed this. No one even knew this game exists. Because Redfall was a first party title. It was bad. Everybody hated it. I think it had issues and bugs as well. Completely overshadowed Ravenlock. Well, Ravenlock is like a little character that looks like Dora the Explorer, but she goes in like a miniature world that's semi Minecraft ish looking, and then at the same time it mimics a little bit of like atmosphere Breath of the Wild looking as well. You get a sword and a shield that's similar to Link, and you just go fight your way through it. It's known as being one of the easiest games ever, right?
Okay.
If you go and Google this, I don't understand why. It's considered an easy game. It's like 3 or 4 hours long. And you're supposed to just be able to blow right through it, no questions asked. I think somewhere down the line, developers may have been annoyed of hearing that their game is just so easy and you can just run right through it. And I think that's when they added a difficulty option, right? So I get the game. It's set to easy by default. I set it to normal. I didn't set it to hard. They added normal and they added hard. Um, and I'm playing this thing. This is Christmas Day. I'm playing this, and I was like, okay, I'm just playing. You running around in there. They got a couple enemies in there. You can kind of button mash through it, and there's no issue whatsoever. And then next thing you know, there's this one boss fight. Where there's like this plant thing that comes out the ground. And it has, it's like a weeping bell looking plant, and it shoots like green missiles and stuff at you and little things like that, right?
All
Um,
right.
it also has the ability to kind of do like one of those like swings where it's like almost like it spins a little bit, but if it hits you, that's it. So I'm playing against this boss. I think he he has dialogue at first, and then if you say you don't like the color green, he'll just like get mad and want to hit you, right? Tell me why in the boss fight. Now this is at normal difficulty. If he connects with that swing, instant kill. You die.
Oh.
Instant. I'm at normal difficulty. I got plenty of footage of this too. I have plenty of footage. I'm like googling this at the same time. Like, isn't this game easy? The plan. This is I woke up first thing in the morning on Christmas Day, And it was like, let's just throw this in there for fun. We're just playing around with stuff. It's Christmas, whatever. Ain't nobody up yet. Early in the morning, bro. It one shot me. I was like, whoa. It woke me up. I was like, I was like, all right, I'm relentless now. I was like, you didn't woke me up. I'm fighting this thing. It's an hour long. And I'm going back and forth. And I'm like bringing his health. Because at the same time, his health meter was on like some Souls-like meter too. It was barely going down. I would stop and look at videos off of Google or YouTube, and I guess everybody else was still on. They're still on easier when they was playing it when it first came out, and so like when they hit the thing, you know, its health goes down like a third, like almost right. I'm hitting this thing and I'm doing chip damage. Yikes. And I'm fighting this thing. I'm fighting. Each match is like 10 something minutes. I'm fighting through it. If he connect one time, instant kill. And you will wake back up and I'll wake back up and just run back. And it would just, I was going, the footage would say, oh, you recorded an hour, and it'll stop. And I was like, I need another hour. It was like, start it again. And was fighting. It was early, right? It was early. And then, my sister tells me like, she was asking me, did I make the crab legs, the crab boy? I was like, no, I didn't make the crab boy. I was like, when you gonna make it? I'm like, oh, I look, it's noon. I'm like, oh shoot, it's noon now. I was like, all right. So I had stopped for a second. I was like, I'm gonna go and do that. And then I played Halo 2 for a second. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. And played around, but I made the food. And then enjoyed Christmas with family. Became a normal person again, but. I think it was like 7 or 8 p.m. when everybody's kind of like, all right, we about to mind our business. It was in the back of my head. I'm about to turn this back on. Like, ain't no way. ain't no way. And I went back at it for another couple hours fighting this thing. And then I finally beat him. And it was just crazy because I'm like, this is Ravenlock. This is it looked like a child's game. And it was like another one of them things where it's just like they had the balancing completely off. And that one actually was a one-on-one battle, but it was just like the balancing was just so off. It was like there's no way, not at normal difficulty, that I should get one-shotted. But I have plenty of footage that I could show. It is still another thing that I want to wait until I have everything finished. But yeah, it was just it was worse than like Remnant or Lords of the Fallen, because at least with them you fight back a little bit. That thing was one-shotting you. You got hit one time, you died. It was just, and it was like this little Lego game. I'm like, the girl, I actually named my character Dora because she looked like Dora. But it was just, I couldn't believe what was happening. It was like, yeah, I probably could have beat the whole game in one shot at the amount of time I was spending on just that one boss.
Well, next time you won't hate on the color green.
It was just crazy. But yeah, Liza P, I give it his flowers. They got the balancing right. Now, yes, I am playing it, 2 years later or whatever. So, yeah, they probably did work on some balancing for it, and they did, open up a whole nother difficulty. But, I just wanted to give it his flowers real quick because the experience with some of the other ones, like, I'm still game. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna run through it. I ain't about to be scared to fight. But I do think that part of the balancing, not having it balance is more of a developer issue than it is a skill issue, in my opinion. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to mention on that. That's the games that we're playing. Real quick, I can go over my next topic, which might, transition pretty well. What are the games that are actually coming out in January? So I actually follow a website that was just giving me a list before, and actually this year they decided to put some cover art with this. Thank God.
Hey.
So it works a little bit better. But if anybody's familiar with Gamer Ranks, you could
Hmm.
probably go and look this up on their website. But they got a few different titles that is coming out this year or this month. Um, Before I go through it, was there anything that you were following this month specifically?
Uh, Not necessarily a game releasing,
Hmm.
but Persona or Atlas, I should say, has updated their Persona 30th anniversary
Oh, we'll get to
website.
that. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that. I
That
got
would have been
that.
that. Other than that,
Okay.
no
Well,
other games I know coming out this month.
all right. We'll get to that though, because I have that. I have that as a full thing. But yeah. So one of them, I think I joked with you about it before. January 6th. So in a couple days, um, the game Bunny Rampage: History of Revenge
Mm,
is coming out. That's the really rugged looking bunny with this big old axe, hacking and slashing all over the place. So that's coming out. It's like one of the first ones that's gonna come out. A few other games. I suggest everybody go look at the full list. But um, Pathologic 3 comes out on January 9th. Um, January 10th. This is a game I've actually kind of been following, but I'm not really too pressed to get it right away. Cold Violet.
okay.
That is the shooter where it has all the Jurassic Park uh, dinosaurs in it. The T Rex, the all of them. The thing that like spread out his face in the first Jurassic Park movie. All of those are in there. You could fight. I think from the footage I remember seeing a long time ago. Um, at some point, some of them get on your side as well. So, yeah. Currently, I think it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive. It might be. I'm pretty sure it will be timed. It does look like a budget title, but I think it's going to be $50 at launch. That's January 10th. Um, Another shooter, zombie shooter, January 12th. Quarantine Zone, The Last Check. Don't know too much about it. A fan favorite out there with the anime community a little bit. The Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon. That comes out January 15th, 2026. Dope looking game. Cooking Simulator 2. Better
Hey,
Together. January 20th, 2026.
depending on how
Um,
accurate that is, it's probably the best of the simulator games, in my opinion. Like, if you actually learn
Cooking.
how to cook,
Yeah.
because you can learn how to cook on there and then try and do it in real. I actually know somebody who. All right, fun little
Hmm.
quick story. There was an old game called Cooking Mama that was
Yeah.
on
I
DS,
remember that. Yeah.
and I had a friend. He said that his sister got it, and he was looking for a game to play. And just kind of grabbed it and just threw it in there, and actually learned how to cook some stuff based off of that game. So this is a good thing to do.
I think the Cooking Simulator too, if I'm not mistaken, it really teaches you a little bit differently because if I'm not mistaken, aren't they running a restaurant and taking orders? Like
I
it's
believe
one
so.
thing to cook because I think I'm pretty good at what I do when it comes to cooking for myself or maybe an
Hmm.
intimate party. That's not the same as if you are a chef and you're in a big restaurant, even if it's
Hmm.
something like a steakhouse or something. You got to make sure that stuff is correct and you're taking orders constantly, right? So, cooking simulator is training you to cook at the level if you were running a restaurant, which I think is on a whole nother thing. Because you got to have the speed and the quality down packed, and not a lot of places can do that good. And
True.
on the other end, you got your people who's like, I don't even want to tip the slightest thing they don't want to
Oh
tip.
yeah.
So
Yep.
that could be very stressful. But yeah, there's that. A game I think a lot of people might know, the Seven Deadly Sins Origin.
Oh yeah.
This
From
comes
the anime.
out, yeah, January 28th, 2026. One of the indie titles I was paying attention to during all these shows, is called I Hate This Place.
Okay.
That one comes out January 29th. Um, And then also on the same day, the big release, the legendary Code Vein 2
Hey,
comes out January 29th. That is still a big deal title for me, but with the titles that I have, I think I might wait on that one until like the second half of the year. Not
okay.
necessarily Black Friday, but Liza P I'm playing right now. Bloodborne is still in my rotation. I don't really consider Black Myth Souls like, but well, it's a Souls like, but I don't consider it Souls. Um,
Hmm.
but that's, you know, it's a lot in rotation, right? Remnant 2 is still in rotation, so I'll come back to that a little bit later on in the year. But that is the big release for me. I'm excited to see how it does, how the industry reacts to it. I will watch some of the reviews and report back on it, and just see how everybody, you know, takes this game. Hopefully, there's no you know, bugs and issues like that. That'll break my heart, man. I don't want to see this game just die
Mm.
over something like that. We've seen it with other things, but yeah. And then the last couple ones I can put on here, January 29th also, the Midnight Walkers, if anybody's familiar with that. And then on January 30th, the very last thing, Vampires Blood Lord Rising. It looks almost like that other vampire game. There's a few other ones there, but go check out the full list under Game Ranks or gamerrank.com. They'll have like the visuals with it, but I follow this, and I you know, want to look at it every month just to, you know, shout out some titles in here. So yeah, anything that I mentioned or any, well, you didn't really look at it. You don't got nothing for January, right? But
No,
Cobain,
nothing to add.
yeah,
Nothing to add, but I'm interested to see how Co-Violet does because I think we need a good dinosaur game.
yeah, and that's actually 2 days. So I'll make a note
Hmm.
to follow up with how the reviews did, how the reception is on that, because it's not a big AAA title. It, you could tell is just from looking at it that there's some, like, you know, budget friendly ish concepts and stuff.
I'm
Um,
gonna be honest. We're getting to the point now where saying is not AAA, like saying it's AA,
mhm.
gives a lot more hope than saying it's AAA. Like I feel like when you say it's AA, one thing is like, well, at least it'll work on day one. So now we'll just have to also figure out like how good it. But it's starting to. I like this shift, but it's starting to like AAA scares me a little bit more because that's where you get
Um,
laziness.
I think it's too many moving parts when you're talking
Hmm.
about AAA. Too many people are worried about
Too
the
many
wrong
non-gaming
things.
people.
Yeah, so yeah, we've seen better quality games now, and the last Game Awards really like shows that, right? It was a
Hmm.
lot of good titles there. And I think it might have been the first time where it was almost half the main titles for Game of the Year were indies, and I think we might
Hmm.
actually see more than half next year or this year. Um,
As it should be, because
Hopefully,
it should go to the games that people like not like just random AAA just because they're AAA.
yeah. I'm still biased toward Cold Vein 2. It is still, I think, considered a AAA title. I would love to see
Hmm.
that one be, you know, close to the Game of the Year, in the Game of the Year category. That one, I will admit, also has some balancing issues. There was some times where it was just like they really could have dialed some of this back. But it's also somewhat fair because that game allows you to have a whole companion AI character to fight with you if you want. Um, so yeah, but I enjoyed it, and then it's more anime based, so it's gonna have a certain audience right there. But yeah, those are the January releases. Um, Real quick, let's go ahead and transition to the second half, or not the second half, the intermission before the second half, where we talk about Epic Games and all of their free stuff. Now, I actually, so you know how I always say you can't complain because it's free, right? Free is free. Don't complain because, you know, you didn't have to pay for it. I always tell you, you don't have to add your credit card, you know, to the platform. You can just create a profile, use a gamer tag that you've used in the past, or create a new one, and then that's it. And you just start claiming everything. That still stands. That's still valid. I just felt like the last like 16-ish games that they did day after day, it was really lackluster this year. That was just my opinion. It was just lackluster. I didn't see. Usually, it's like it's built around one big one, and this year's big one I think was Callisto Protocol, and I was like, but you did that one last year though. Like, or you did Callisto Protocol like 2 years in a row or something. Like they didn't gave that one away a couple times, and I was like, okay, well, like, cause the year before they did a few of them. They had like Ghostwire Tokyo in there and Callisto, and I think Death Stranding. I was like, okay, they got some big titles.
There was one other sort of, not big, but I think the best game out of the ones they gave away. One that I would strongly suggest, even though it probably just kind of everybody just looked at it and was like, oh, what is this? Cassette Beast.
Cassette Beast?
So Cassette Beast, which I had actually bought that earlier this year. It is your monster catcher game. Okay. Except you turn into the monster. So it's a whole little story where like you kind of wake up on this island and there's all these people who are kind of displaced out of time.
Yeah.
On this island, so you get like all these people like I'm from the 1900s, or they're acting like weirdly. And you have a little cassette player, and it records like the monsters, and you're able to turn into them, and then do a weird like fusion with your partner to turn into like another monster to fight. And it's your Pokemon battles, but a lot more involved. But to me, it's like it plays like a Pokemon game, but has the story of like a Digimon game, where it really just kind of goes all crazy and stuff. But I think it's a really good game. Unfortunately, it probably flew under the radar a little bit. In my opinion, that's the strongest game that they gave away this entire break. If you exclude, Callisto Protocol being, I would even say with Callisto Protocol, Cassette Beast is probably the strongest game that they gave. That, and then I think Disco Elysium is a big name title. Okay. It's a very popular indie game. Again, I don't think it's on the level of previous years. Like, I'm not saying like, wrong. Like, I agree with you. This was very lackluster, but I feel like if you could pick one or out of it, it's Cassette Beast. If you want to go for two, you could probably throw Disco Elysium in there. I haven't played it, but people stand by it. But I was like, oh, cool for Cassette Beast, and then the rest, it's like, all right, what happened? No offense, I mean, free is free, like you said. It's just still, like, we got 4 Troon games. Or Trine games. But like it was like, all
right. People also need to train themselves to remember to check that website before 11 and then just after 11, because one of those days I was down to the last hour and I caught it in time before the next one. So they usually release them at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so if you somehow missed a day or something like that, like, or you were close to missing a day, just make sure you check it before then. You can check it from your phone and then check it right after. But yeah, it didn't really have too much, but it was leading into the games that are out right now on their website. So that is going, that led into Total War 3 Kingdoms and then the game Wildgate. 2 different titles. That's available right now until January 8th. I suggest everybody go grab it. Free is still free. But yeah, it was, for me, it was just when I saw Callisto. Because when I saw Callisto, I was like, bro, it's like the 3rd time y'all engaged this. Now, Callisto is still in my rotation to play. That I haven't played yet. But still, it was just like, it was given away. But Epic is known for double dipping, triple dipping at times with certain games. And Callisto was one of them, I believe, that they done that with. And I caught it each time, but I had already bought it on, I think I bought it on PS5. And then now I have the PC version. And ultimately, I think I'm going to play the PC version because my PC is better than the PS5. So, Yeah, I'm gonna play it at some point, but yeah, it's just when I saw it, I was just like, okay, all right. But I was holding out for just the one title, and they didn't have it. But I do want to shout out PlayStation Plus real quick because they did. I think I don't know if it's available yet, but they did announce one game that I was hesitant on buying, and it was just so happened to be given away on PS Plus. Funny enough, it was that Mickey Mouse platformer. Um, what is the official name of that? Whatever.
Uh, oh, what is that called? It's the paint one, right?
Yeah, because it's actually a remaster or a remake of the platformer that was on a different. I think it was
Epic
during.
Mickey
Yeah,
rebrushed.
yeah. I think it came out on the Wii, if I'm not mistaken, or
Hmm.
maybe before that. But it was out there, and people said it was good, but they were really charging like $60 for the first like year that it was out, and they was not coming off that price. And then it was like hovering on that $40 price range for a while. I'm like, is it because it's Disney? Like, why is it so much? And then during Black Friday, it was still around that price point, like 30 or something. And I was like, I don't really want it that bad. I'll hold out on that, and I'll just get the other stuff. Um, and then lo and behold, it's like available right here. And I was like, that's the one game that I actually said I'm gonna hold out on. Outside of the other Souls games that I was mentioning before, like the first Berserker and Liza P, and then Stellar
So
Blade. Yeah,
real quick, just looking into it, you're right. So the original Epic Mickey came out on the Wii in
Y-
2010,
yeah,
and then rebrushed came out in 2024 for the Switch, PS4, PS5, Windows, and the Xbox One and Series X and S. And it says, I just saw this real good as a platform game, but it says Epic Mickey features a morality system similar to the infamous Spider-Man Web of Shadows and Shadow the Hedgehog. And I didn't know Mickey could have morality. I thought
it
he
was
was
just
just
like they were holding
good.
it to like such a high standard, and I'm just like, what is this? It's not even something that anybody look at. But yeah, so they gave that away.
Mm.
So it will be something that I download right away on my system because it might be something that I might have in rotation earlier on because I don't really have a dedicated platformer. But yeah, so shout out to them for doing that. That was one of the games that I got that I missed. Um, yeah. You mentioned in my notes I see here because we could probably include this as far as news. There was a couple rumors, couple game
Mhm.
rumors.
Yeah,
Who are they coming from? Who
Lionsgate.
Lionsgate? It's not some
So
dude on Twitter,
Lionsgate
right?
directly. No, it was Lionsgate directly.
Okay.
Mentioned that there are two games currently in development. So we'll see if they actually happen.
All
But
right.
they're doing and is labeled as AAA, but a
Okay.
John Wick game and a Saw game.
Mm.
So I'm excited for I'm excited for both to see how they are. I imagine for the John Wick, I'm hoping it's closer to some like Arkham similar combat, but it's probably going to be way more like Uncharted or the James Bond movie or game
Mhm.
that's coming out, the 007 game.
Mhm.
Um, for Saw, they can either really do some like Until Dawn, which was recently on the screen, but that sort of gameplay with the Until Dawn or the Dark Pictures anthology, or it's probably going to be like a survival like sandbox one like Dead by Daylight. I'm hoping for the former. I want it to be the just go through the story and like really try to survive stuff.
For Saw, if somebody I guess couldn't wait, or if they want to do what I'm doing with Wolverine in preview, so or Appetite. There is a Saw game, if I'm not mistaken, that was on the
Mm-hmm.
Xbox 360 time frame.
Mm-hmm.
That you can go take a look at. Probably can get it off eBay for maybe under $20 or something, depending on the person on eBay. You can go check that out if you have an older system, or it might be on PC. Who knows? Or you can maybe emulate it. But you can go check that out. As far as John Wick, That'd be kind of cool. The funny thing, the thing that comes to mind, if you wanted to do a quote unquote appetizer to that, um, if you still have a PS2 or if you
Mm,
emulate or something, I would suggest go play Jet Li Rise of Honor.
such a great game.
Uh, so yeah, from
Such a
back in
great
the
game. Me
day.
and some friends, I remember it was like four of us, and we were just like going through the game, and like as soon as somebody like died, you have to pass the controller to the next person as we would
Hmm.
go through and beat it or replay certain levels and everything. That it was so cool.
Yeah, or if you really just a Keanu fanboy, maybe you can go and same era PS2 and play The Matrix Path of Neo.
Okay.
That was a fun title. I really enjoyed that way back when. It was. I remember initially being disappointed at some things because my imagination for it was like way bigger than what the game was, just based off my hype and me loving the Matrix. But then, like afterwards, it grew on me fast, and I played it like so many times. This was a long time ago. But I used to be a huge Matrix fan. Not a big fan of that movie that came out like post pandemic, but still, everything else was really good. But yeah, those would be the ones I would recommend, and that's really what's cool too. Because like while we're talking about all these price hikes, there's still some hidden gems that's out there that are like ancient at this point, where you can really, probably find a texture pack and do some emulation and really turn it into a whole different experience and in the new year. Yeah. Um, I don't know about anything else when it comes to rumors or news as of right now. But we'll check back on it later. But yeah, let's get into one of the other topics. I don't think this it's too too big yet, but it probably will be a big thing when it becomes official. But 30-year anniversary of Persona.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell us about what you've been following.
So they've already made the website for it, and when you go to it, it has this like flashy intro on the website, and then it just says next update on January 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when they're going to actually update the website, and then they're going to be updating throughout until I think they're going to do some big thing. What people are expecting is one, some sort of Persona merchandise because they're going to drop merchandise, right, for
Yeah.
Persona. Probably an announcement for some reason. Apparently they're supposed to remake four again. Um, so that might be a thing. I wonder if they're going to try and go back and do some sort of remake or re-release of one and two, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
everybody just knows three, four, five. So try and do something with one and two.
Yeah.
But what I'm really hoping for, it might not be on the January 8th one. It might be like later in the year. Some sort of update, because apparently it's been known that they're still like it's not like disappeared. They are actually working on it. I don't want them to announce it until it's close to done, but some sort of update for Persona 6.
I'm a little torn on the Persona 4 part though. I have to really think about it because I was far in Persona 4.
Hmm.
Um,
I
but
don't think it needs another update. They already had the Persona 4 Golden. Then they re-released the pack, and it sounds like if they're doing another update, it's not going to be a different story. It's just going
yeah,
to be the slightly updated graphics thing
I
that
actually
they've
think
been doing.
is
And it's like,
I think it's also going to get treated similar to Persona 3 Reloaded, where it's not going to be an all-in-one package. You're probably going to have the DLC that's later and that
yep,
kind of thing, because that's kind of what they did with that. They didn't where Golden you can go buy for either $20 or less on PC,
that's the one I'll be
and
playing.
you have everything. The thing about it is I didn't mind the bobblehead 3DS looking characters, right? Where
Hmm.
in the remaster or whatever they're doing, it looked like they're all like fully sized humans, similar to Persona 5, and probably Persona 3. I haven't played Persona 3 Reloaded, um, which is like okay, that's one thing, but is there like did you update the game itself, or is it gonna play and be the same? Because if it's gonna play and be the same, then I should just continue where I am. Because it's still, I put in a lot of hours with that. Like those games are some like really long games, and I'm not finished. But it at the same time, I don't like the de novo thing that they have for Persona 4, where it will literally not allow you to play unless it checks in with the internet at least once a week. So that's a thing in itself. And that might not be a big deal to anybody. And I know it's like, you know, people complain about that whole thing, but I've had moments where my internet just goes out and it has nothing to do with me not paying the bill. It'll have something to do with construction, right? Over here. And I just so happen to have my Steam Deck fully charged and ready to go. So this happened once where I can just still get my hours in on that thing before it dies out. Or just, you know, I can still have regular. Well, no, the electricity will be out. I'll have like at least a couple hours where I can play on the Steam Deck, right? I'm like, okay, it's my off day. The power went out, which sucks, but I can sit here and play this for a couple hours. I was like, no, you can't, because you can't connect to the internet. And I'm like, why can't I connect to the, like, why do I need to connect to the internet? And literally I had to take it and go down the street to the library, the public library, connect to theirs. I sat there for like 15 to 20 minutes real quick, connect to theirs, let it do its check. It had to do it in a like slower way too, because their internet was slower. And then once it checked, it was like, okay, I can go back home now. But it was like, that was a unnecessary process in itself. And I'm like, what did it need a de novo thing for? And they just have it set in there and they're no longer updating the game. It's just set like that. And it's just going to do it once a week to make sure you didn't steal it or something, right? And I don't know if the newer games are like that. I do know on the Switch 2, almost everything is like that, because the Switch 2 is just like that now, because everybody was stealing from the Switch 2, I guess, to put on the Steam Deck, or the Switch 1 to put on the Steam Deck. But like, if the new one doesn't have that, I might consider it. And if it has, you know, changes done to the gameplay, because I think they've updated the gameplay on Persona 3 Reloaded to match a similar style to Persona 5. Persona 5 is head and shoulders easier than Persona 4. And as you go back in time, it gets more and more like unforgiving, basically. Because like now you get into like the difficult era where it's like, no, this is a niche thing and you better know what you're doing. Where newer games like this now are a lot more like open to the masses and stuff. So if they made it where it's balanced a little bit better, and there's no de novo, I might consider it. Other than that, I think I would want to just stay playing the old one overall. But those are my only reasons why, though, that I would choose the newer one. Okay. I just wanted to mention that real quick. But you know, I'm still excited for Persona 6 like anybody else. I do still have to play Tactica. I still have to play.
I enjoy Tactica.
What was the other one? The arena style ones and
Strikers.
Strikers, yeah, that one, and then Persona 4 Arena was a fighter. I want to play through some of those, you know. But yeah, I do think they probably are going to announce Persona 6 at their last part of their big announcement for their, 30th anniversary thing, and then we might see the actual game a year or two later. But yeah, I'm excited to see that. You gonna buy some merch, hoodie or something?
Probably not. We'll see. If they start dropping like some 30th anniversary Funkos, I'm gonna have to get those for sure.
A t-shirt might be cool. You know, a nice little edgy t-shirt. You can play as the that soccer player whose name should not be mentioned. But insider for the people who are aware. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Game on the screen is Doom: The Dark Ages. Fun title. I hope people enjoy this one. I'm gonna play the other Dooms some point later in the year. But
I gotta get back to the first Doom. I stopped
the first one
to play other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I suggest for the people out there, brand new year, brand new season. Lock in a couple at a time games where it's like, these are the games that I'm playing for this month, and make it, follow websites like how long to beat, so you can get an idea. Okay, this is a bigger title, this one's a smaller title, and it makes sense. And then you're gonna have a game like Persona 4 Golden that's probably gonna last a lot longer. And you play that periodically throughout the year. You know what I mean? But I think we got the topics. I only had one other topic. I think you mentioned something to it. I didn't get a chance to really look at it. But listen, I saw a concept that somebody came up with on somebody's podcast. I listened to a few different podcasts out there, and I thought it was a very neat idea. Although they were doing way too much. They was like, okay, I'm gonna pick a game for you, but you stream it and all. I'm like, oh, we're not gonna do all of that. We probably just play it. But I thought it might be a good idea that I pick one game for you to play, you pick one game for me to play, and we finished those games by the end of the year. That was my thought process. I was like, we don't really have to stream it, but you have some, footage for the podcast.
I could do end of the year. I was confused at first. My question was like, I thought you said you had your whole year planned out, and then you're like, pick a game for me. And I'm just like, when you gonna play it? But never mind. If it's by the end of the year, I think you can find time.
It'll be by the end of the year. You pick one game for me. I pick one game for you. I think we could set a rule to say it needs to be something that's on the current platform, because that makes the most sense. So current common platform, so we could probably say it's on PlayStation or PC. And then that's it. That's the rule. And then probably I've already picked your game. I looked at it. A game that's already in both of our common libraries that you haven't actually played.
I think I know what you're gonna pick.
That's fair. I don't think you do, but you go ahead and guess, because I'm gonna leave that as a cliffhanger for next week. I'll reveal it next week. You reveal the one for me next week. Well, go ahead and give you a guess. Give it a guess.
I thought you were gonna still try and force me to play Resident Evil 7.
Oh, listen, you are already playing Resident Evil 7. So it's not Resident Evil 7, because we already established that you playing that. It's not Resident Evil 7 though. It's not.
Okay.
It's not. But yes, I have picked the game. The only hint.
Are we waiting until next week? Because I got a game.
What? You got a game? I mean, it was just as a cliffhanger, but if you want to do it,
we can do that. No, we can do it as a cliffhanger.
The rule is just simply it's on a current platform, right? And then it's something that is probably already in your library that you did not play, so that if you don't want to pay for something and take that much of a chance, and then maybe we'll say, okay, next time it'll be a new game that you didn't buy and I didn't buy, and we'll really take a chance. But yeah, you already thought of it. That's fine. If you want to wait, we'll wait till next week.
Yeah.
And yes, it is. I have the game. I think you will definitely enjoy it. Now, part of it though is, I usually have the rule for myself. Don't release the footage until after we finish it. But I think it might actually be cool to show progress as we go along, and so. We'll release footage as we go along, and we can talk about it like, hey, this is how far I've gotten. This is my, understand it, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But the main thing is I pick one, you pick one. We have to finish it before December 31st, 2026.
I can do that.
All right.
As long as you don't pick me a 500-hour game.
No, I don't think it. I think
it's all of Skyrim.
No, definitely not Skyrim. I would have to rearrange everything for Skyrim. Even though technically I got a taste of Oblivion through Game Pass, but yeah, but that's it. I don't have nothing else. You got something else you want to mention to the people real quick?
No, I'm all good.
All right. Well, if there isn't anything else, like, comment, share, subscribe. We will catch you on the next episode. I'm sorry. Excuse me. But I do want to mention solo content is on the way, but let me get to Thursday, the off day, to rearrange a couple of different things with my new light. And then after that, solo content probably is going to start rolling out real soon, real soon. It ain't going to be too, I'm gonna just go back to the basics, man. Just talk to the people. You feel me? We just gonna talk to the people. That's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.